Broskis, it's Steam Next Fest time again, and your Papa Slim from Sweden, he has sorted out the best first-person shooter games from the worst. I put the worst to the side, and I'm gonna show you the best. But it's gonna be a two-part video, so this is just the first part with some absolute mother-flipping bangers. But if after watching this you want even more, well, just wait a few days and I will drop the second video. But now, let's dive into the first, because it holds some bangers. Starting the video off is actually a first-person puzzle shooter, but it's one that has an insane atmosphere. As I played the demo, I had no freaking clue what was going on, but it took me mere seconds to get totally sucked in and wanting to know and see more of this horror station where everyone has suddenly died in mysterious ways. The game is a very dark horror puzzler with some shooting. It features a gun that is used for defense and puzzling, whereas with it you can control spheres that needs to be put in the right place at the right time to unlock further progression, like a puzzle game. It's also boasting a pixelation filter that might be a bit on the extreme, so much in fact that it blurs the vision a bit, actually increasing the tension of not fully seeing what is in front of you at all times. Usually I'm not one who likes these pixelation filters, but this one does the job. And it's got a planned release date of the third quarter in 2025. Moving on to Saloonery. This one actually took me by surprise. I mean, it is quite a simple shooter with a linear progression, but roguelite styled upgrades. It is not a roguelite though, so bear that in mind. I was, however, unsure if the game would feel good to play, or if it would feel undercooked, like many other games have felt in this edition of Next Fest. But after I played the demo, I can confidently say that it feels freaking amazing. There are a ton of details in the game that amps up the satisfaction of killing your foes, like bullet time when you aim down your sights, spinning sprites that are actually not sprites but pixelated flat 3D models. A crap ton of weapons like shotguns, pistols and rifles that all sound great. It is overall a well-polished experience where you head into maps, kill things, complete challenges and gather currency to continue doing the same thing, but a little bit stronger and a little bit better. Unfortunately, it has no release date in sight for this one thus far. Continuing with Texnoplazm, one of the games of 2025. It's got not only a unique art style blending Daikatana with a more grounded realistic gothic style, it also has a fairly deep melee system, a melee weapon system and a ranged weapon system that is easy to control but very hard to master, also giving you enough movement tools to the point where if you start mastering these mechanics, you will be able to pull some of the craziest things in a very long time. The game is centered around a campaign mode, but it's got a fair share of challenges and replayability to it as it is. In the demo alone, there is a secret upgrade station you can unlock, but only by finding all the secrets in the map. And the best part of it all is that it is releasing in the third quarter of 2025. Oh, and you can parry trains in this one.
I'm not comfortable in.
Next up we got our beloved Brutal John that was relaunched into Brutal John 2. And why was that? Well, simply because I think Trepang 2 knocked on their door. It's not more complicated than that, honestly. Nonetheless, it's through and through a fantastic boomer shooter. It has every single little ingredient to tickle all the boomer nerves, from great weapons, dark humor, one-liners, collecting of keys, enemies that go splat, interesting levels including a moving train and a cinema. Yeah, it's simply a must-play for the boom lovers. And the story, it revolves around destroying the world, dominating cryptocurrency. It's impossible to go wrong with that. Oh bugger, what a great potential this one has. Unfortunately, some of its execution is not great. For example, the audio mixing is all over the place in this one, and the combat and movement, it feels a bit stale. Other than that, I love the idea of the game. We play as the pest control being sent into a luxurious. We play as the pest control being sent into a hotel that has been overrun by huge bugs. And with us, we got a weapon that can transform to just about anything. It makes you feel like a walking tank, and on top of that, we unlock skills and abilities as we progress. Like a ground slam, a double jump, and a shit ton of more things. In other words, it's unique, it can be fun, but it needs a lot more polish. And is an interesting boomer shooter that has a lot of roguelike elements, but is not a roguelike either. The goal is to enter portals that will take you to bite-sized mazes loaded with weapons and enemies. The goal? Well, it is simply to kill everything and get out. But do it as best as you can, for you get points for combos and style, points that can then be used to acquire permanent upgrades in your skill tree. A skill tree that if you struggle should be redone. The key to success in this one is a good branching skill tree, and of course your aim. But if you die, it's not game over like a regular roguelike. Moving on, we got another interesting boomer shooter running on some form of custom engine that looks very similar to the likes of GC Doom or Build Engine, but with a lot crisper image. It does the levels very right, it does the graphics right, but the audio is horrendous unfortunately. The weapons, they sound like literal pea shooters, and enemies just the same unfortunately. But hey, with some audio polish, this could be one to have some fun with when it drops. Now, Mycopunk is a mission-based co-op shooter, in many ways a game like Killing Floor, but in even more ways completely different. The humor and graphical style reminds me a bit of Borderlands, and the hero classes that all have interesting different abilities and weapons reminds me of something like Destiny almost. It's a mix of a lot of good things, but the best part is that it is very well done. It's fun, engaging, and rewarding. There is a lot to grind for in this game, a lot that makes an impact in the gameplay and how you actually play. So this is actually one of few multiplayer co-op games that gets my seal of approval. Ferocious, the dino first-person shooter I've been longing for so freaking long. But you all know what I think of its current state, if you watch my Ferocious video that is. More or less everything is placeholders in this game, and it needs a lot of work in more or less every freaking department, apart from the graphics. They are freaking phenomenal. Now, the personal want that I have for this game to turn out good is still very strong, but I do advise that you hold off from playing it for now and wait for its actual release. Now, this game I had very little expectations jumping into, serious survivors. But to my utter surprise, I was instantly hooked. It's a survivors-like first-person shooter that just keeps on giving and giving until you can't stop playing the goddamn game. It's very simple, it's very much carnage, it's like playing at the casino. But for an even better experience in the exact same genre, listen to the next game. Sliders, the survivors-like first-person shooter that keeps on getting better and better. It's just as the prior game, very simple, very much carnage, but so god darn hard to put down. This one takes the upgrades to the next level with new weapons, temporary weapons, throwing stars, laser beams from the freaking sky. Yeah, Sliders don't hold back, and it is so much freaking fun. Now, Metal Eden is one of my most anticipated first-person shooter games dropping in 2025. It's so freakishly good, and the demo shows exactly how good it is. It's from a small studio, but a studio that managed to bring the Doom level of combat into its game. It's impactful, it's got a ton of mechanics, an interesting story, and it looks phenomenally good. This is a must-play for first-person shooter fans, but it does require quite a lot of horsepower to run well, so keep that in mind. Next up we got Voidbreaker, and this is a true hidden gem that deserves a lot more attention, and I hope it gets it during the next fest. I played a not so old playtest of it, and wow, it simply blew my freaking mind. It's a one-man game, but the quality screams of at least AA to mid-sized team production. Everything from the effects to the audio and mechanics are insane, and even though it's a roguelite, it manages to offer a fresh experience with tons of innovative mechanics. And next up is another roguelike, but again a high quality one that doesn't offer as fresh mechanics, but excellent quality with a great gameplay experience and a setting that we don't see every day. It actually takes place under the water in a city long forgotten, now overrun by beings that want nothing but to kill us. Luckily, we have both the firearms and after a few runs, the strength and abilities to take them down. And one of the biggest highlights of this game is actually its bosses. They feel very much like taking on a raid boss in Destiny in terms of epicness. Now thank you for watching the first part of the Steam Next Fest demos. There will be a second part, and while you're at it, join the Discord link down in the description. It's an amazing place with ton of awesome first-person shooter fans and more. And please do remember that Papa Slim, he thinks that you are pretty damn awesome. And I will see you in the next one. Over and out.